Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's podcast. Super excited to be entering this topic today, which is really about welcoming the exquisite overflow of life's energy. And maybe the title is, doesn't make sense to the mind itself, but we are really here with an intention to actually channel the energy behind this title. And this is how we like to roll, and we love to roll with really tapping into what it actually wants to be sharing through us, through Karine, hi Karine, and through myself,
Right.
so that it becomes a transmission for you. And this is our favorite way of teaching, per se, getting out of the way and actually seeing and being intimate with the current of what wants to be spoken out. So let's dive in, Karine, and let's see what wants to be shared with our people today.
Yes, of course. Well, yeah, we were having the discussion just before we went live, and we were saying how much everything is kind of accelerating, and we could feel that energy wanting to express itself in our lives and in our body. And I was curious to know, how does that manifest for you, this current that wants to overflow?
How does it manifest? I mean, for me, it's always about body sensation. So I feel when the current is very, very strong, and God knows how much lately we're in a very accelerated portal. We're both actually going to Miami tomorrow to go and meet some business partners there. And it's really about leaning into the fast pace at which life wants to bring you into, and to be super aware of the resistances that are in the way, because the resistances, if they persist, they're actually going to hurt you, and they're going to keep you stuck in your old identity. When the overflow and the exquisiteness of this overflow and the fast pace of this overflow, actually what it's doing is, it's in between brackets, it's actually killing you with a small y. It's actually telling the resistance, or it's telling the identity that you're having in the current moment, that it's time to release, and it's time to create space for the new, because the new current is holding codes. It's a new transmission. It's a new frequency that wants to touch you very intimately, so that your body and your actions start become in alignment with this frequency. So that's the embodiment piece that we often refer to. There's the calling, there's the frequency, there's the energy, but if it's not integrated in our body cells, then it's just a fantasy. So to follow the exquisite overflow current of life's energy, it's actually to say yes to the current, to say yes to the energy pulling you. And we actually feel the pull of the energy. It's not just something in our mind that we're like, oh yeah, I'm imagining an energy pulling me. It's not at all in the visualization uh, category. It's actually pulling you. You feel that you have no choice but to follow this wave. And if you resist, you're like, you get confused, there's chaos in your life. But if you're actually leaning into it, you're like, okay, take me. It's like, it's really an act of surrender, but it's not a passive act of surrender. It's an active act of surrender, of like, I'm surrendering, but I'm being taken. I'm being taken by the current. I'm being penetrated by the current. I'm accepting the current to come inside of me and change me, shift me, alchemize me, and release the old. And I was just sharing with you, Karine, just before the meeting, or just before this conversation, that it's so interesting, because the identity that I've been into for the last, let's say, 15 years is more, let's say, the yogic, right? The yogi, the yogini, sitting down. I have my, daily practice, their discipline, embodiment, meditation, deep intimacy and connection to my body, to the underworld. Yes, the mystery, right? The invisible world. But where the current is actually taking me is more outgoing, being more visible, connecting, networking, relationships, And there's a gap. There's a gap because my body is still programmed in my old identity, which I dearly love, and she will still come with me because these don't die, right? But the phase of full identity is finished, right? And it was the phase of also learning about aloneness, and how to be alone and be so committed to the aloneness, so devoted to to the divine, you know, to the vertical plane, as I love, to the vertical, right? It's coming, but now life is asking to be more horizontal, meaning, you know, where do you get to have more impact? Where do you get to be more visible? How can your voice reach more people? Who are your allies? Who are you connecting with? Who's your network? You know, who are you collaborating with? And it's really a different way of operating. It's not foreign because it's part of my design. So it's just the current is asking my design to come in tune. So maybe you have something like this happening in your life right now where you're being called and you're like, yes, yes, yes. But then the body is it's like you have two people. There's the body being called, but there's also one that's staying in meditation, for example. That's in my case, but you have something in parallel in your life that might be, it might be something like this might be happening in your life. And the tip here is to actually keep leaning in, to keep being seduced by the unknown and the new. Say thank you to the old and the known. Say thank you and like, yes, come with me. I'm not divorcing you. Come with me, but you're not the main character anymore. You cannot be the main character because where life is taking me, where it's taking you, speaking at you, whoever's listening, requires, where life is taking you requires to bring this new personality on board. And that's really surrendering into the guidance, surrendering into what's required, surrendering into more than the personal will, right? Let's say the highest will, knowing that the personal will come with you because the personal is also super important. You know, our desires, our needs, our humanness is super important, or else there's a disembodiment that happens. But yes, you're getting the picture, you know? And I'm really going through this process right now where I'm exactly being asked to change my identity and start embodying something that's new, not foreign, but that's new, more integrated, and bringing the old with me. Yes.
Yeah. So interesting. What caught me and what I'm also living right now is really also maybe showing other facets of who you are, because as you said, you know, it's been your main character or the main facet that you presented to the world, and now like what I'm experiencing is that other facets of me want uh, more room, and it's everything is me and everything is you. It's just sometimes you just have to switch a bit, you know, like a diamond, and this other facet can shine. And I don't know if that speaks to you, but I like to see it that way, because sometimes we're like, oh yeah, but I like that old identity, or we get kind of caught up in that. So
Yeah.
my way of kind of dealing with that was saying, as you said, you know, it's still there. I'm bringing you with me, but some other facets need to shine or show themselves more or interact more with the outer world. Or does that resonate with you?
Yes, it's really part of the process to die and to reborn and to die and to reborn. And where I really want to bring the audience's attention is that there's something in us that never dies. And this is what authentic and soul embodiment living is about, is that infinite absolute essence that we are, soul and beyond, you know, that doesn't die. And all the rest that we are going through in this 3D life is the game of life. It's a play. And we're like, oh, I don't want to die to this identity, when really true peace, true freedom, to true freedom does not come from the identity itself. It makes us think we are free in the identity, but this is not where the freedom is. This is not where the exquisiteness is. This is not where the overflow or the abundance is. We're bringing all of our attention to the center of everything, knowing that we are playing with these identities. And this is what accelerates the path, because once we get tapped to lean into the guidance to accelerate and to shift identity, then it goes faster, because we're like, okay, like okay, it's time to die because I'm being asked to, you know, peel off my skin and reborn into a new skin. The new skin, by following the soul guidance, will always be closer to the frequency of the soul. It will be closer to the exquisiteness, and it will bring also your life, your 3D life, into more exquisiteness, because this is honestly how it's taking you. You're being called by more and more light, more and more light, more and more light. So you're peeling off more and more the layers of, let's say, less light that you have on your body that constitute your identity, that are crystallized in identity, that in an identity that was your old self, that served you, that protected you, that served people, that was really great. But you're shifting. And in this shift, also what's going to happen is that your transmission also, of course, is going to be a transmission of higher codes and highest frequency, because your body vessel now will have more space to embody more of this frequency and will transmit more of this frequency and will act in coherence with this frequency, which is actually the embodiment piece. And one last thing that I wanted to share is that all the experiences, and we have named this in a previous podcast, is that all the experiences that you are going through in your life and all the experiences that you are keeping on going through and that you will be going through are all lining your gifts. All the experiences are encoded by your gifts, meaning that it can look like you're dying to what you loved, what you desired, what you needed, what this personality liked, you know, but you're bringing all of this with you because the essence of it is coming with you. You went through experiences that had a certain texture and shape and taste, but you're actually bringing the essence of it with you, and you're bringing the why this happened to you and why you went through these experiences with you. It's your transmission. You're bringing the learning, you're bringing the wisdom, you're bringing the knowledge that you accumulated, not from the mind, but from your cells. And then in the new embodiment, it comes into integration with all the rest that has been integrated. You don't lose anything. It comes in integration with the rest. Like I was speaking about the yogini for me. Well, the yogini now is integrated with, let's say, the engineer. It's integrated with the teacher. It's integrated with the mother. It's integrated with you know, like the whatever it is, you know, the tantrika, you know, like it's integrated. They're all coming and having a party together. Now what's being asked from you, which is, let's say, a new level of leadership, is like, yes, the one who's connecting, who's having more impact, who's having her voice have ripple much further than what she has done. This is new for me, you know, like it's new and not new. A part of my essence knows, and a part of my soul is pushing. It's fiery. It will happen, but it's a new embodiment that will bring all the other personalities, and that is going to be a new identity, right? Makes sense, all of this?
Yeah, totally. And we spoke about that in other podcasts probably, but I think it's good also to tap again into everything is already there, you know. It's already there. You were already all that. It's just that, as you said, we have to peel off layers to show more light, to show everything that was already encoded. So maybe you want to share more about.
Yes, and I want to bring us back to the topic of what we're sharing, which is the exquisiteness of the overflow, the acceleration on receiving the overflow of life's energy, of life's current. And we were choosing this theme because it's new vocabulary that is coming with the new embodiment. I was telling Karine just before that it's like, oh wow, the old vocabulary is not appropriate for the new frequencies coming. So already I am using vocabulary that I'm called to be using because I want to be accelerating my reality into this frequency. So voicing is one aspect, thinking is one aspect, but voicing is deeper embodiment, and acting is a deeper embodiment. It's actualizing the frequency in reality and saying, yes, I'm actually choosing this as a reality. I'm creating my life based on these frequencies. So everything that's not in resonance with these frequencies will start bouncing off. And the overflow when you tap into the word overflow, abundance, overflow, there's something that is like a wave. It's like water taking you and water, you know, pushing you. You're like taking the water in and you're like allowing the water to, it's like, you feel it with me. So I want to bring you into the feeling of things, because a word is only a word in surface, but behind the word, it's an energy, it's a texture, it's a frequency, it's something that wants to recalibrate you to move differently in life. So the word overflow is like, there's no lack, there's fast pace, all the stories and the beliefs that make you think that you're stuck, or that make you think that, oh, it's not this timeline, it's going to be next year, or it's like, I need to take my time. You can still believe it, you can still think it, but it's not the ultimate truth. It's what your body has learned to be true. So it's crystallized in an old identity. So it is true at the body level. But the second you start choosing the new frequency and you're like, you know what? No, I'm actually choosing overflow now. I'm choosing the frequency of overflow. Then your body might go through a bit of discomfort, and it's going to show you where in your cells are you programmed to believe that overflow is not possible. It will start shaking, it will start purging, and it will start making you move in a different way and reprogramming your body in the frequency of the new. Yes?
Yes, I lost you for there. Yes, the reprogramming of the new, that's what you were saying. And the choosing of the words, to me, and I think the listening part also, because when you say something out loud, it's not the same as thinking it or keeping it for yourself. And when you choose to embody it with your voice, it also brings something else forwards. It accelerates, as you said. If you state that that's what you want, I want overflow in my life, and every action is going towards that, it also brings another energy, another embodiment, another wave of, ooh, okay, that was there, but it's more of me, more of it's funny because I said I'm a writer, and for me, for a long time, just saying I'm a writer was like, oh, I'm a writer, and I just said it like, so, oh, I'm a writer. So yeah, overflow in saying it and voicing it is really key also.
Yes, and allowing the body to just start moving differently. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating. Like, really practice it. Whoever is listening, practice using different vocabulary on your day-to-day basis. And most probably, if you're on this channel, you already know this, but really practice with new words. Already, you probably did transformation work and healing work, embodiment work. Like, you're probably not new to the path if you're listening that far on in these conversations. But really use words that have a different frequency than what you're used to. Use words that represent the frequency, or words that represent the life or lifestyle that you want to be having, and start including this in your day-to-day, and see how the energy behind the word will make your body move and how it's going to shift your beliefs. Even having this conversation right now, I think I said overflow at least 20 times. I'm noticing as I'm speaking, I'm noticing my brain, because I'm really with my body all the time, and I'm noticing where in my brain it's actually shifting, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Yesterday I had this belief and I thought this was not possible. Today I think it's possible. What happened here? What happened is because I'm choosing the energy that overflow means, and it's like, oh, well, my reality now is overflow, therefore it's possible. Anyway, it is fascinating. And this is also when we realize that we are creators. We often refer to as within, so without. So as you cultivate a certain frequency, vibration, energy inside your body temple, and you allow your cells, really at the depth of your cells, to be activated in this frequency, as you're going to be emanating out, and as your actions are going to be in coherence with this too. And then your life is going to shift. Your relationships are going to shift. Your intimate relationships are going to shift. Your money is going to shift. Everything is going to start shifting. And we are not here making promises of a magic pill. It's, you are a sovereign being who chooses these vibrations. This is the only way. This is the only way. You are choosing from the core center of your being that you are no longer tolerating anything else. You can, yes, you will have teachers, you will have mentors, you will have coaches. I'm a mentor, I'm a coach, I'm a teacher, I'm a guide, you know. Yes, I have my coaches, mentors, and teachers, right? It's important because they represent what? They represent the frequency also that you want to be embodying. So it accelerates you. It gives you the transmission. It gives you an example of somebody who has embodied something that you want. And it's not to admire or to put higher. It's just to say, yes, I really want this lifestyle. Therefore, I am surrounding myself with people who are in the vibration of what I want to be embodying. So this is actually pure logic. You remove yourself from the matrices that keep you in the old patterns, in the old identity, in the old beliefs, in the old ways of operating and moving. And you start surrounding yourself with the new, And you will see it will shift right away. This is the embodiment in the 3D piece after receiving the spiritual calling, which is listened and heard from the spaciousness of your body.
Wow. I can feel some shifting in my heart, like you were talking about your brain, also my brain, but really my heart. Thank you so much. Did you want to say anything else before we close this very powerful download?
Feel your body right now. That's what I want to say. Feel in your body what got activated. For example, right now, me, it's my belly. I know it's the belly that wants to expand. What is it in your body right now as you're receiving the transmission beyond the words that we shared? What is happening in your body right now physically? Really intimately connect with the physicality of it. Feel the vibration around this part of the body and ask it, where are you guiding me? Where do you feel led right now? Listen to what it's saying and actually go and take this action right away where you are being led. So it's kind of an exercise. I'm closing this with this exercise, and leave us a comment underneath the video or underneath the audio that you're listening to or watching. And it's yes, we love reading you, or reply to the email if you receive this by email. Whatever it is, keep connected to the transmissions that you're receiving, because it's not for nothing that you're watching. It's not for nothing that you're listening and you're taking this vibration in. Don't stay alone in your corner. Don't hide. And I'm going to say, even be in the overflow where you're receiving this and you're actually giving back of your energy. And this is not with any expectation. It's just, this is how reciprocity works. And this is how the natural flow of life works. And there's, there's probably many of you who are listening to this right now who I will actually never know of. We will never know that you exist. But if you start raising your voice and you're putting either a thumbs up, a little heart, an emoji, a comment, you will see that life will start activating you. And maybe there's fears of being visible and commenting or responding to the exercise as I'm sharing it right now. Be with the fear and move with it. You will see there's actually something of your potential that's locked just behind. The fear will release, and whatever you were scared of, you will probably see that it was an illusion, but there's more love that's starting to fill your cells. So exercise, enjoy it, and thank you for being part of this movement with us. If you want more information on what we are offering, the two main offerings that we have right now is an embodiment membership, which is a deep embodiment practice that we're committing to on a monthly basis, regular basis as a community. And we practice, we train to really create the spaciousness, to listen to the calling and to receive the vibrations at a deeper level in our body. Or there's a mentoring process, which is a deep one-on-one guidance with me. You have me in your back pocket and we are on a journey, and you have me as a private mentor. So whatever you choose, keep staying in tune. Our intention is to really serve many of you as you want and as you choose. All right, aho on this note. Thank you so much.
Thanks.